Hey everyone, and welcome to EFRL for round 16 of 22 for the Singapore Grand Prix. We're now getting started with a full qualifying session. We got, I think someone is already out on track. So as it stands right now, we got 17 drivers on the grid. So let's get a few stats up and have a look on what's happening on the track itself right now, because I see one driver has gotten out quite early. We see another one already getting out of the garage there. So it's going to be a bit of an early exit, as bit of a difficult track, I guess, for some drivers, so they're going to try to get out a bit early just to try and get a few laps in case they do invalidate here in qualifying one. So we already started down for 18 minutes, already down to about 16 and a half minutes left in qualifying one, and it's going to be a bit of a tight session, especially with how narrow the track is. Drivers are going to try to get it as early as possible just to try to get their best lap times in and make sure that they do make it over to the next qualifying session. That's going to be Q2, which is going to be quite important for them, especially for the race start itself and race strategy wise. So let's see how this session does go. So far we got at least 4 or 5 more drivers already out on track, and seems to be a pretty decent grid here for today itself. We might have a few more drivers join on before the end of the session, we never know, but let's see how it goes. But 17 drivers, not too bad to work with here for the Singapore Grand Prix. It's going to be quite an interesting race, especially if it does go the other way in terms of the weather. We're not sure what the weather conditions are going to be like for the race itself as yet, but so far it seems quite dry here for qualifying. Of course, this being a night race and all, is going to be a lot of fun to watch, especially the race start going. It's a short run down into turn 1, which we are about to see very soon here right now. As Luki gets started on his hot lap, we can have him look going down the pit straight here right now and getting down into turn 1, a very short run. So drivers are going to be looking to maximize position as they get through that opening lap when the race to get started. So we'll see how that's going to go, but for now we're here in Q1 and see what sort of lap times we're going to about to start to see in just about over a minute or so. We should start to see some lap times come in, as most of our drivers are on their out laps right now. We already got Luki getting started on his hot lap there in the Ferrari. Hopefully brings in a good time and is able to keep that car in a good position and possibly get it over to Q2. So let's see how many drivers actually, which of the 15 drivers are going to be going over to qualifying 2 at this point, because it's going to be a bit difficult and a bit of a tough challenge actually, just to try and get a good lap time here at Singapore with the way the track is and whatnot. So we'll see how well it goes, but so far we should be able to see some interesting lap times, because there are quite a few cars getting out very early. So let's give it at least down to about 8 minutes left in the session and see where you stand in terms of lap times there. Alright, so Luki's almost at the end of the lap. We'll see where he goes as soon as he gets across the line. Alright, so that's a 142.4. Puts him up in P1 for now, since no one else currently has a lap time. So let's see who's going to be next to get across the line. And I'm not sure who is the next car to come around, because you know some of these cars are still on out laps and getting around here. But I think somebody else just got started with their hot lap there. So let's see how that's going to go. I think that was Cam getting started in his lap there. Looks like Escas has invalidated his current lap. We'll have to try that again, and let's see how that's going to go. Who else is running a lap? I think Cap is on a lap here right now, about to get across the line very soon. Has a Mercedes behind him. That's either Trusnick or Daniel Clement there. I'm not sure which one it is. So Cap goes across with a 137.6. Havlis goes across a 137.3. Starting to get a bit close off with these two already. So let's see how it does go. I think, oh, and Luki is out after that lap time at 142.4, so that's not going to hold up too well, because he didn't make it back to the pits. I don't think the lap time will stand. He's going to put him down to the bottom of the grid, because he did DNF the session there. So unfortunate for him. I'm not sure how well a 142.4 would have held up, but either way, that's not even going to be standing on the grid itself there. It's going to go down all the way down to the bottom. And I think we got a good lap out of Daniel Clement at 137.666 there, so not too bad, about 300 of a second slower than what Cap did, but reasonable so far for his first attempt at this. Where is Eskers on track? Trying another lap here right now to see where he's going to be going at the end of this lap, and I think Kubas there went across the line with a 136.7, so he's on for for an interesting session so far, because that's a pretty good lap time from him. I think that's going to hold up pretty well. Cam goes across fastest now, 135.6, so we're definitely getting faster here on track. I think we got a few more cars about to get a run there. I see the next Mercedes, that's Strasnick there, she'll be getting a run pretty soon. Oh, and he invalidated the lap actually, so not going to be able to get a run actually. I think Sagan might have just started his hot lap, and yes he did. So we're going to go back to Eskers here and see. I think his teammate Demon there is out on an out lap and not on a hot lap as yet, so we'll see how that works out by the time he gets around, gets started with that. Okay, so that's Eskers there with a 137.3. He's gonna hold up pretty well at least for now. Let's see where Sagan is on track. Alright, so he's driving a Red Bull. No lap time currently set as yet. Still majority of the grid yet to set a lap time, so we'll see where they stand by the end of the session. We're already down to about 10.5 minutes left in Q1, so still a lot of time for drivers to work with. Okay, so Sagan goes 137.8. So let's see what we got on the grid so far. Who else is currently out on out lap? I think Jarek on an out lap there right now. Should be getting started with that lap pretty soon. So as we have it so far, Cam holds on with the fastest lap here in Q1 at 135.6. Holds up pretty well. Gargamel now in second at 136.4. Kubas down to third with a 136.7. Eskels down to fourth at 137.3, sorry, and Havlis down to fifth at 137.3 as well. But about 800 of a second slower than what Eskels did. Cap there in sixth now, 137.635, and Clement down to seventh at 137.666. Sagan down to eighth at 137.8. And Demon down to 9th at 139.3, which might not hold up too well to get him over into qualifying 2, but he's going to have enough time to get around, get some a better time in. It's right down to about 8 minutes 40 seconds or so right about now. So far so good. So we got Jirek, we got Jerry, Cuban, NTR Devils, and Trusnick and Redimuse yet to set lap times here. Luki unfortunately did set a lap time on his first attempt on a hot lap here, did a 142.4, but did DNF the car before getting back into the pit, so that lap time will not hold here for qualifying 1. So he's gonna probably definitely well, most likely be out of qualifying 2 and 3 there due to that incident. So we'll see how the rest of the session does go. Hopefully we do have maybe at least 1 or 2 more drivers join on before we get to the race start itself. Would make it a little more interesting for a bit of a more full grid here at Singapore. Always an interesting track, especially with the being a night race and whatnot. So let's see how well drivers are going to handle the track, especially when it comes to overtaking, because it is a bit difficult to overtake around here. Not gonna lie, especially with how narrow the track is. There are only certain spots that are actually safe to actually attempt and overtake on the track here itself at Singapore, but drivers do tend to push for a move sometimes where it's usually not done, but we have seen instances where they actually get that done. So what's possible and what's not, we're gonna see when the race gets started here. So we'll see how that's going to go. So far, Cam still holds on to fastest lap right now, 1:35.6 here, and is holding off pretty well so far. Gargamel is still there in second. Jurekin is now up into fourth and pushes the rest of the grid down. He goes down to our 1:37.2, and I think that's going to hold up pretty well. Who else is currently running? I think NTR Indy Racing Point is on a, I think he's on an outlap still. So I'm going to wait for him to get started with that. I think Ready Muse is behind him. And I'm trying to have a look where the Mercedes of Trusnik is, and I think it's behind that as well. There might be a McLaren in front. I think that is Demon there. A 1:39.3 he did earlier on. I think he's trying to get a better lap here, so let's see how that's working out for him. See, Jerry is still in the pits. I don't think he's attempted a lap here as yet in qualifying 1. Brady Muse is finally out on track in the Renault, so he will be getting a lap in pretty soon as well. I think Demon is slowing down just a bit here. I don't think he's probably going to finish off that lap. So let's have a look on who is in front of him. It looks like it's the Mercedes of Trusnik, possibly. No, actually no, it's the Mercedes of Clement there on another outlap to try and get started there as well. So let's have a look with him, because Daniel Clement is about to get started on another lap here and try to get a better timing than a 1:37.6. It is keeping him at a good position right now down there in P9, but I think he doesn't want to take the chance. Probably wants to get into 1:36 if he can. And we can see Cam is already out of the session here with his 1:35.6, which is probably going to hold up pretty well and take him over into qualifying 2. I don't think he needs to be worried about that. So as it stands right now, he's just gonna keep that time and just sit in the pits and maybe have a nap or something until the session is over. We got about just under 5.5 minutes left. Devils now takes over fastest lap in the session at 1:35.1 for 500th of a second, no, 5/10 of a second, sorry, faster than what Cam's did. So not too bad of a time. Red Bull putting it on top. Sagan there in the next Red Bull down in 11th so far, 1:37.8. Let's see if he can match his teammate and probably get it at least into a high 1:36, if not the 1:35 right now. We got Daniel Clement here on a lap in a Mercedes, and I want to see where he's going to go at the end of this lap, because currently he has a 1:37.6, and that's holding there in P10 as it is right now. It was P9 when he got started with his lap, so it's getting a bit faster on track. Drivers are getting and setting faster lap times, so they do have to be careful about what sort of lap times they hold and if it will actually take them over into the next qualifying session. So so far as we have it, still just a few more drivers yet to set some lap times here. Think about 4 drivers left. That's Jerry, Ntiro, Trusnik, and Ready Muse there. We're left to set a lap time here in qualifying 1. That timer is coming along very, very quickly. So let's see what our lap time definitely will look like by the end of this session. So 1:35's up on the top of the leaderboard right now for 3 drivers, and it's looking pretty good. Devils their fastest, 1:35.1. Cam second fastest, 1:35. Oh, and we got someone else getting up in there right now. Ready Muse now gets the fastest lap in the session at 1:34.4. Quite an impressive lap, and pushes Devils down to second now with his 1:35.1. Cam down to third at 1:35.6, and Cuban now takes over fourth with and he's gonna stay there with a 1:35.6 as he's in the pits. Doesn't look like he's gonna come back out as yet. Not sure what he's gonna be doing with that. Entier now up to fifth at 1:35.8 as we have it there. Gargamel down to sixth, 1:36.4. And Habless down to 7th at 1:36.6. You can see Clement is now down to 12, which you can see why he decided to go out on another lap here and try to get a better time in. Now we gotta hope at the end of this lap that he does actually make a faster time. He needs to get this into the 1:35 to actually keep it 100% safe at this point here, because lap times are definitely getting faster on track. And we can see most of the drivers on top of the board. Now we got top 5 drivers in the 1:35s. Then we got at least another 3 drivers in the 1:36. That's going down to P8 as it is there right now. Trusnik, his teammate, is up to 9th with a 1:37.084, and it's gonna hold up pretty well for now, but still just under 3 minutes left in the session, so he needs to get a bit of a better time if possible here right now. Let's have a look on board with Daniel Clement and see how he finishes off the final sector of the track on this lap here, and he's now down to 13th, so definitely you can see why he chose to do another lap here. I'm not sure if this is going to be a faster lap or not, But we'll see how well it goes because he's about to get to the end of the lap here pretty soon. There's a few more turns to get around. But it doesn't look like this is going to be a fast lap for him. He's going to go back into the pits and might not be able to make another lap. Let's see if he gets back out in time to do that here. Alright guys, so Daniel coming back into the pits at 137.3 for him. Alright, we're done with Cap here in 14th at 137.6. So we can see Demon and Sagan in a very dangerous spot there right now because with Luki being out early after the session, I'm not sure how many drivers will be able to advance over to qualifying 2 at this point here. It might just end up being the top 14. Never know what's going to happen, but being down there in 15th is a very dangerous spot to be, and that's where Sagan is, and he's back into the pits with just under a minute left in qualifying 1. Absolutely no time to get her back on track right now. Whoever is currently running will be able to finish your lap. So Ready Muse currently holds on to fastest time here, 134.4. Devils in second, 135.1, and Cam in third out of the session already at 135.63. So that holds up pretty well. And then looking at the rest of the grid, lap times are pretty good. We might have our excellent race on our hands coming up pretty soon. So let's see what our qualifying 2 will hold for us as we're about to get to that very soon. So let's have a look and see where is this guy on track. He might be trying to get a faster lap in. No, actually he's getting back into the pits. Demon here on track. I'm not sure if he's going to try to get a better lap in. Or no, it doesn't look like it's going to be a faster lap here. But let's just give him a chance and see what he's going to be doing. About 10 seconds left here now in qualifying 1. I'm just coming down to the wire on that, and let's see what's going to happen. Majority of the cars back into the pits. We do have Demon trying to one last time to get a better lap in if he can here right now. And as you can see, time is up for most of our drivers there. Jerry Gargamillan and Kubas and Cap still probably on track, probably getting back into the pits there. And Demon here, probably the last car to rerunning a hot lap. Let's see how that is going to be going for him. So qualifying 1, the clock is officially up on time on that. Just in a bit over time for these few drivers running on the track still. Waiting for them to get back into the pits or just get across the finish line so we can advance over to qualifying 2. So it's not looking pretty good so far for Demon here. He might not be advancing over to qualifying 2. We know Luki is not going over there, and it's a possibility that Sagan might not be getting over there either. We might just have the top 14, which means Clement will barely be making it over to qualifying 2. We're just waiting to see if that is what the case is here right now. Alright, so he is in the final sector about to get across the line. Let's see if he goes in the pits or just gets across the line. But it looks like he might be going into the pits, which he is. So he's not going to finish a lap. And I think that's going to be it for him. He's Gargamillan on track running a lap. Trying to have a look here right now where he is. And he is running a lap about to get across the line. Flying around here right now. Does he get a faster time in? At 135.9 is what he did. And that holds him up into 7th right now. So Gargamillan there in a pretty decent position to get on over into qualifying 2, so I don't think he needs to be too worried about that. Let's see how the rest of the session is going to go for him there. Trying to have a look at where his teammate is right now, but I'm not able to see that. Or I'm not even just looking the right way. But let's have a look at the final results here for qualifying 1, and then we're going to advance over to qualifying 2. Alright, so for EFRL, round 16, Singapore Grand Prix, qualifying 1 results. We do have Ready Muse fastest lap in the session there, 134.4. Devils went second fastest, 135.1. Cam was third fastest, 135.6. Cuban their fourth fastest, 135.6 as well. In tier 5th, we got Jerry there 6, Gargamillan 7, Havlis 8, Kubas there 9th, Cap in 10th, Trusnik 11th, Jirek 12th, Eskes 13th, Daniel Clement 14th, Sagan there 15th, and does make it over to qualifying 2. Demon, unfortunately, will start the race in 16th, and Lukey there will have to start in 17th. So let's head on over into qualifying 2 and see what sort of strategy these guys will be planning to run here at Singapore. Okay, so getting started here with qualifying 2. 15 minutes has already been started on the clock. Let's just make sure we got lap data on so we can keep an eye on what's going. Of course, we're going to keep best on here for the tires so we can see what tires the guys are driving on. Let's have a look at Havlis here in the AlphaTauri. He's out pretty early on track. I think he was the first one out to get started here. So 15 drivers here in qualifying 2. Only the top 10 will advance over to qualifying 3, and of course they have to make the fastest time and be in that top 10 in order to get on over to Q3 if they do desire to get over there. And of course it does stand with the rule here that they will have to start the race on whatever set of tires they do set their fastest laps on here in qualifying 2. So whether it's a set of mediums or a set of soft, they will have to start the race on that set of tires regardless of how many laps they did on it. And that's why they're not going to be wasting laps on a set of tires here in qualifying 2, which is why it's so important, because it's all about race strategy for them. Of course, that will only does stand if you make it into qualifying 3. You're in the top 10, and it is a dry race start. Of course, it has to be dry for that to apply. Otherwise, they do have a free choice of tires, especially if they have to start either with the intermediates or the wets. But let's see how that session is going to go by the time we get over there. So down to about 12.5 minutes left now for qualifying 2 already. This is going to start to go pretty quickly, as it's a bit of a shorter session. Of course, it's going to get a bit more interesting when we get over to qualifying 3 after this. That's going to be only 12 minutes long. Probably give them about 2 set of laps to do on track to try and get the fastest possible time. That's going to be for the starting grid, but we'll talk more about that as we get on over to that. So Havlis here still on a lap going through for an out lap, and actually no, he's on his hot lap already, but I don't think he's going that fast for some reason. I'm trying to figure out what's happening with him here, and I think I'm not even sure what's happening with him. So let's have a look who else is running on track. So Daniel Clement just getting started with his hot lap here right now. Who else is out running at the moment? That's what I'm trying to have a look at. Devil's on an out lap. Quite a few more cars on out laps right now. I'll have a look on board here right now with Clement and see what a lap around Singapore actually looks like. That was through sector 1. And let's have a look on board with the rest of the lap. Oh, and he invalidated, unfortunately. And that is a bit of a disappointment for us right now. We got to switch on over to someone else. Have a look on what the lap looks like around here. Switching on over to Cap right now in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see how he gets around. And that same corner, well, I didn't actually get it too wide, so because that's where Clement just invalidated his lap by going a little bit too wide off of that curb once he got up the turn there. So do have to be very, very careful about that. And braking zones are going to be extremely important in this race itself, with the way the track is, especially when you're actually trying to chase down a car and get an overtake done. They have to watch their braking zones pretty closely to see how well it's going to go for the race and how important overtakes are going to be without taking damage here, because a pit stop around Singapore will cost you quite a bit of time. So it's something they're going to want to try and avoid as much as possible. So let's see how that's going to work for them. Let's switch on back to the overhead cam, as we will have Cap here finish his lap pretty soon, so you can see where he goes on the grid. He might be the first of the drivers to set a lap time, because I think Trusnik is still on the out lap. Clement is, I don't know, he's gonna have to start another lap to get started, which I think he just started there. Cap is flying around the track here, so let's see. He goes across the line. It goes a 1:37.1, and he did that on the medium, so not too bad of a lap. Who else is about to finish a lap around here? Where is Trusnik? About to get started on a lap right now. Still got Ready Muse into the pits there. We got, who else is currently running on track? Let's try to have a look here. Havlis still on track, trying to get a lap done. Devil's here. Where is he right now? Let's have a look at the Red Bull driver here, trying to get his lap in. And I think he's in sector 2 there right now, getting through. And that is a purple sector 2 there for Devils so far. So he's looking pretty well, getting a possible good lap here. And he's doing this on the mediums as well. So going to be interesting to see what the strategy play is going to be with these guys. Because remember, they did have to take safety cars into account, safety cars and VSCs into account for this race itself, in terms of what race strategy they plan to use and what backup strategy they're going to have depending on when a safety car happens here. And that is fastest lap there for the Red Bull driver, going 1:35.8. Looks like Kuba's got a 1:37.4, 3:10 slower than what Camp did. So let's see what that's going to hold up. Cuban here, the Haas driver that we haven't talked about for this session so far. Let's see where he is. Usually some pretty good lap times from him. I gotta remove those notifications off of this thing now. Yeah, so Cuban here. Let's see where he's gonna go by the time he gets finished with this lap. And looks like Trusnik goes second the fastest in the session at 1:37.1 on the mediums. What Devil is doing on the mediums, and he did a 1:35.8. So pretty interesting to see what the gap is between these drivers, with the lap time being on the medium tires here. We're gonna see where they will stand at the end. We're going to see where Cuban here is gonna go by the time he finishes off with his lap. Alright guys, yeah, so Cuban about to finish up this lap here right now. Let's see where he does go on the grid, as we're on board with him right now. Goes second fastest in the session at 1:25.9. That's going to hold up pretty well. Only a 10 slower than what Devils did there. Camp out of the session, unfortunately. 1:37.1 is what he has. Let's see how well that's going to hold up. Something tells me that might push him down quite a bit and might take him out of the running for qualifying 3. Let's have a look at where Ready Muse is on track here right now, and he's just getting started with this lap. Usually puts in some pretty good lap times, so I'm quite interested to see where he's gonna go at the end of this current lap here. I'm trying to keep an eye on most of our drivers as much as we can here to see what lap times are looking like. I guess apologies about that. Let's see what's been happening on track. So as we have it right now, 3 minutes left in qualifying 2. We got Ready Mills on top of the grid at 135.6 from him. That's a 135.656. Jerry now in second there on the grid, 135.677. 200 a second time difference between them. Devils down to third at 135.8. Cuban down to fourth at 135.9. And we already got Gargaban getting above him now, the 135.934, whereas Cuban has the 135.935. Literally 1,000th of a second time difference between the two Haas drivers as we have it. So very interesting, very competitive between the two of them. Cam down to 6 at 136.026. We got NT there down to 7th at 136.2. Trosnick in 8th at 137.1. He's on another outlap right now. We got Jurek there with a 137.1 down to 10th. And that's our top 10 so far. Cap there out of the session, but he's in 9th right now with his time of 137.1, which is holding up pretty well actually so far. But let's see how well it holds up going to the end of the session. But as we have it, pretty interesting to see what's happening. We do have Havlis there 11th, 137.2. Kubas 12, 137.4. Sagan 13, 137.7. They will have to try and get a better time in if they want to continue on into qualifying 3. Also, we got Escas there 14th on the grid and Daniel Clement 15. No lap times for either of them. I think they're working on that there right now. Clement on a hot lap here. Let's have a look, see what's happening with him in sector 3 of the track, about to finish a hot lap here. Alright, so Clement gets across the line and goes just ahead of his teammate there at 136.5 for him. Puts him in 8th on the grid right now. Gonna hold off a bit well because we're coming close after the end of the session and not too many cars out on track right now. Esca's here out on track and trying to get started with a hot lap of final hot lap of the session. As you can see, majority of our drivers are going to be trying to do this on the medium tires, except for Clement there. He's done his lap time on the softs, which means he will have to start the race on those soft tires once he makes it over to qualifying 3, and it's a draw race start here. We're going to see if that will not apply as we get on through. But it's going to be a bit of a change with the rest of the grid doing that medium strategy for the start. But this does depend on how soon we do end up having a safety car in that race, because don't put it out, but we might just have one on the opening lap, or maybe just in the first 3 laps or so at least. We're going to see what's going to happen, because we're getting close to that point of race start right now. I'm trying to have a look where Escas is going to go at the end of this lap. 30 seconds left here in qualifying 2 to close off this session, and let's see what the grid looks like for top 10 as we get on through that cap down to 10th, right there in a close off to the drop zone. So let's see if he's going to get knocked off of the session, the qualifying 3 session, or not. And Trosnick now goes back ahead of his teammate at 136.4, a 10th faster. So Mercedes having a close battle between them. Haas having a close battle between those two guys there as well. Going to be a bit interesting, especially with teammates here on track, to see where these cars are going to be at the end of the race session itself, or during the race itself. See how many battles are going to be going on with teammates instead of fighting it with other teams for points here. They might just be having that happening, and that's the end of qualifying 2 right now. So we're just waiting to see who else is trying to finish a lap here, and then we're going to head on straight over into qualifying 3 and see how that's going to go for us. Well, basically how it's going to go for the drivers, but let's see what's going to happen either way. Okay, so I think that is actually the end of the session. Probably Trustnik still on track, or he's getting back into the pits there right now. We're just waiting for that to be over with so we can have a look at the results. But it does look like it's going to be Sagan, Eskas, Cap, Jurek, and Havlis out of qualifying 3 on our top 10. We're going to have a look. Let's just wait to confirm that. But it looks like we will have 2 drivers in the top 10 who will have to start on the soft tires, and the rest of the grid will be starting on the mediums. That's Kubas and Clement there will be starting on that. Sagan and the rest below him will have a free choice of tires, and will be a fresh set of tires. So we'll get started with that race with that. But let's have a look and see who else is left to finish off the session here. I think it's just Trostnik's car to get into the pits here. Alright, so that's it for qualifying 2 results as we have it. Ready Muse with the fastest time there at 1:35.6, and that's a 1:35.656. Jerry second fastest at 1:35.677, 200 per second slower only. Devil's third fastest, 1:35.8. Then we got Gargamel fourth fastest, 1:35.934. His teammate just behind him there in fifth at 1:35.935, 1,000th of a second time difference. Very, very interesting between them. And Williams here with Cam in 6th. We got Entier there 7th. We got Kubas in 8th. And Trostnik in 9th. Daniel Clement in 10th. Barely making it over once again to qualifying 3 this time. Both Mercedes 9th and 10th. That's a close call for them. Sagan will start there in 11th. Escas will start in 12th. Cap has to start 13th. Jurek will have to start 14th. And Havlis will start the race there 15th on the grid. And over to qualifying 3, we're going to head now and let's see how that session, because it's going to go, should be a bit interesting with lap times there, as everyone will be fighting it off on soft tires to try and get the best possible time to sort out the starting grid for the top 10. And we'll have a look at the entire grid before we do get started on the formation lap itself. So here we go, starting in qualifying 3 right now, 12 minutes on the clock, and with our top 10 drivers so far. Let's see who's going to be first to get out on track here. And looks like Cam might have gotten disconnected there. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but we'll see what that situation is in just a bit. Alright, so waiting for somebody to get out on track here to have a look and see what's going to happen. Oh, there we go. I think we got some drivers heading out already. Entier seems to be heading out and has cars in front of him as well. I think Cam might be in front of him, or that's Jerry, I think. Yep, that looks like it is Jerry getting out for us there. And looks like Cam has gotten back connected back to the lobby there, so good to see that happening. Okay, so qualifying 3, just basically the one session left to just determine the starting order for the top 10 drivers who made it on all the way to this point here. So they're basically going to be getting on their out laps here right now, and then get started in the hot laps. We're going to see what those lap times are really going to be looking like. And welcome to Martin there in the stream live chat. Thank you for the comment. Do appreciate it. I was actually just noticing that because I was on the other side of the screen. Wasn't actually paying attention to if we did have any comments in there as yet. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream as it is. A bit better on the quality side of it right now, and on the delay, I think it's just about a less than a second delay we're having on the stream right now compared to the live game session itself. It's usually about 4 to 5 seconds delay that's usually there, sometimes even more, just depending on what's happening. But yeah, we're having just about less than a second, or less than a 1.2 second at least with the delay as it is there right now between the live game session and what's happening on the stream, because I'm keeping an eye on both itself right now, just to a bit of a test on that to see how it's working. But so far everything's going pretty well. Alright, so we got quite a few drivers out on track on the out laps right now. We got Entier and Jerry on their hot laps getting started, and Entier is right behind Jerry coming, so we're going to keep an eye on both of these guys to see how their laps are going to go. Let's have a look on board with Entier now. As we followed Jerry on his out lap, we're going to follow Entier on his hot lap now, because we should expect to see Jerry's time before Entier's here, provided neither of them invalidate their current lap. So we're going to see how that goes. But yeah guys, it's going to be a bit of an interesting start. As we said down in qualifying 1, it's a pretty short run getting down into turn 1 on that race start, so it's going to be very, very interesting, very tight, and very well packed going through the forest sector of the track. So cannot call a safety car out of this one. There is a very high possibility of having one of those, or even having a VSC, because of some incidents that are going to be happening on that opening lap. And we got 17 drivers we know were in qualifying 1. Not sure if anyone new has joined onto the session before we do get on over to the race itself, so we're going to see what's going to happen with that. But it's going to be very interesting on that race start. I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen. I'm always intrigued and interested to see and do the commentary here for tracks like Singapore, Azerbaijan, Monaco, some of the more fun tracks. Well, on our end at least, not maybe for not all of the drivers. I don't think all of them enjoy those tracks so much. The street circuit tracks, they're not much of a fan of it, but yeah, it's a lot of fun for us to watch. So we got lap times in right now. So Jerry 134.7, we got NT 135.6. Remember, they're all going to be on the soft tires as far as I'm concerned on this one. Cuban invalidating his lap. Cam, where is he on track right now? So everyone is coming around, trying to see who's going to be the next car to get around here. That might be Kubas here. It's let's see, he's about to get around the final turn here right now, flying in that Ferrari. Definitely should be getting a good lap time. Goes third fastest, 136.3. Not too bad, but we're going to start to get a bit closer, maybe on the second rounds of lap times we're going to have. Let's see who's going to be the next driver to get around. It looks like it's going to be one of the Haas. No, that's not it. That's one of the Haas. That was a Mercedes getting started on a hot lap there. It looks like it's going to be the Red Bull of Devils to come across the line next for a actual lap time. Bit of heavy braking for him there, but let's see how it goes here right now. Welcome to everyone who's joining us on the stream there right now. Do make sure you guys do leave a like on here. Really do appreciate you guys doing that. Alright, so we're in qualifying 3 right now. If you guys missed all of that, with the top 10 in the session right now, trying to sort the starting grid for the top 10 and going through. That is Devils with second fastest lap, 134.9. Currently, Jerry holds on to provisional pole here with his 134.7, but I don't think that's going to hold up pretty long. We might have someone take him out of that position pretty soon. We're going to see how that's going to go. His teammate Cam hasn't set a lap time as yet. Gargamel coming around here right now to get a time in. Goes third fastest, 135.3, and it's going to hold up pretty well. Where is Cam going? 135.1. Goes into P3, pushes Gargamel down to fourth right now. That is one and P1, P2 so far for the Williams. Not too bad with them. Who else is on a lap here? I know Trustnik wasn't on a lap, but he invalidated that lap, so that's going to be all for him. We do have Ready Muse here on a lap, and he's in sector 3 about to finish up this lap, so it should be an interesting one as he gets around the final turn here and gets across the line. Let's see where he does go on the grid. Second fastest for him, 134.748. That's about 500 of a second more to get past Jerry's time there. So Jerry still holds on to provisional pole for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's looking pretty good for him. See where Trusnik is going to get started on another lap. Now he's getting back into the pits. So we got Clement and Cuban out on track. Let's see who's further out in front. And looks like it's going to be Cuban out front. And Clement is on a hot lap actually. Let's have a look on board with him. Is he on a fast lap, or is I'm not sure what's happening, but it does look like he is on a hot lap. So let's keep with him and see how his current lap is going to go. Okay, so still on board here with Clement to see where he finishes off with this lap. He is in sector, I think getting to sector 3 right now. Cuban on an out lap, so we'll have a look at Cuban by the time we get finished with Clement here. Alright, so let's see where he's going to go on the grid, about to get across the line. Final turn, and let's see where Daniel Clement goes. He doesn't invalidate, goes 7 fastest, only the 136.2. See how good that's going to hold for him. We got Cuban now getting started in his hot lap here. He's in sector 1 getting through already, getting to sector 2 now. Seems to be on a pretty fast lap. We got Jerry there, who's holding on to provisional pole at the moment. He's getting back on an out lap right now. 3.5 minutes left here in qualifying 3. Not a lot of time left, and we're going to have everyone probably get back out on track to try and get a faster time in before the session comes off to an end, which I see what's about to happen here. And there's going to be quite a bit of change up if that does happen, if we have all the cars starting to get back out on track. We already got Inter getting out on an out lap, Trosnick on an out lap, Jerry on an out lap, and we still have Clement out on track. Not sure if he's going to try for another lap on those set of tires, but Cuban here seems to be doing a pretty good job at this current lap. I think he's got a purple sector 2, if I'm not mistaken with that here. And he's going to be finishing off this session pretty shortly here, just under 3 minutes. So let's see what the grid is going to look like. I think he might have bruised the wall just a bit there with that car. I'm not sure if he took any damage. Doesn't look like he did. Might have just scraped some paint off. That's Cuban going 3rd fastest now, 134.8, and that's going to hold up pretty well. Not a bad starting position for him if he does hold on to that going through. Where's NT on track? I'm going to see if he's on a fast lap, and he definitely is trying to get a better time in right now. Trosnick on a lap there as well, and he's coming. I think he is probably behind NT. Let's have a look. Yep, he is. Let's go back to NT here in the racing point, see where he's going to be at the end of this current lap. Okay, so about to get into sector 3 here with NT. We got just under 2 minutes left now in here in qualifying 3. That's a purple sector 2 coming off NT's lap. The sector 2 seems to be a pretty good point for a lot of drivers. So let's see what a sector 3 time is going to be like. Alright, so Cuba, NT with a 135.6 so far. It's about to get across the line. Let's see if he goes faster and keeps himself in a good position here. Does go 2 positions up to 5th with a 135.039, so not a bad lap for him. Trosnick here, no lap time set from him as yet, and he just invalidated that lap. And absolutely no time to get back out on track and do another lap. So it looks like he's going to just go back into the pits and start this race there in P10 as it is right now. Jerry on a lap here, which he invalidated. So it doesn't look like he's going to get to make another lap. Reddy moves currently in 2nd on the grid. And looks like he's on an out lap to try and get a better time in. We might have Jerry trying to get another lap into these set of tires here. Let's see if that's what the case is going to be. So definitely look like he is going to try one more lap on that same set of tires. Reddy Muse coming just behind him to try and get a faster time in as well. So let's have a look and see where that's going to put him. Because currently with a 134.748, he's only 0.05 of a second down from Jerry's time. And I don't think he wants to start the race second. I think he much prefers to start the race there on the front of the grid all the way in P1. But let's see what that's going to work for him. Anyway guys, that is qualifying 3 officially over there right now. We're just in a bit of overtime for everyone who's currently running on track, which is quite a few drivers as expected at this point here right now. So let's see how lap times are going to change as this session comes off to a close at the moment here. Alright, so he should have him going into sector 3 here right now. He still has Jerry coming behind of him. Remember, these two are P1, P2 neck and neck and fighting it out for the provisional pole start for the race. So let's see how that's going to work. There's about 2 minutes left in overtime for these guys here to get across that line, which they will very, very soon. Looks like Cam and Devils are still out on track. Not sure if they're doing hot laps there or not, or just doing an in lap to the pits, but let's keep an eye on these two out front and see what different is going to happen with them, because Ready News 134.7 definitely looking to get a faster time. And will he get that? Let's have a look here right now. And he does get it at 134.4, puts him up on provisional pole. Jerry coming across, and where is he? I think he's finished. He didn't get a faster time in. And Cam actually got a faster time right now than Ready News on his final lap. He did a 134.446, about 400 of a second faster than what Ready News did. So very interesting change up on that final few minutes left there in qualifying 3. So let's have a look at the starting grid for the top 10, and then we're going to head on over to the race session itself. Alright, so provisional pole goes to the Williams driver Cam there, 134.446. That's a pretty interesting lap for him, and went on that lap on his final attempt at it. Ready News goes down to second to start the race there at 134.484. Jerry will have to start in third at 134.5. Devils will start fourth, 134.6. Cuban will have to start fifth to the 134.8. Enter starting sixth at 135.0. Gargamel will start 7, 135.3. Daniel Clement in 8, 136.2. And then Kubas there 9th, 136.3 for him. Trustnik there in the next Mercedes, no lap time set by him, so we'll have to start there in 10th. I'll have a look at the entire grid on the formation lap itself as we get it wrong just a bit. Okay, so getting started on the formation lap here, and looks like we got one extra driver in, and I think that's Groot there, who's 18 on the grid. So let's just get our stats up, and then we can have a look at the starting grid as it is. So we're going to keep lap data on. Details, we're just going to put tires on so we can see what tires these guys are going to be starting the race on. And as we have it, so Cam starting there at the front of the grid, P1 for him, got that on his final attempt there in qualifying 3, a pretty good lap that he did. Ready News will start second on the grid, Jerry starting third, Devils will start fourth, then Cuban there in fifth. We got Entier starting 6th, Gargamel in 7th. We got Daniel Clement in 8th, Kubans there 9th. Trustnik, the next Mercedes, in 10th. Didn't get a set of lap time in qualifying 3, so had to start there. Sagan there 11th. Escas will start 12th. Captain 13th. Jirek 14th. Havelis there 15th. Damon 16th. Luki there 17th. After a bit of a mishap in qualifying 1. And Groot joining the session late on will start 18th on the grid. His team is starting 2nd on the grid, so going to be quite an interesting change to see how much positions he's going to be able to make up by the time the end of the race, because it's going to be a 31 lap race here around the Singapore circuit. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how the opening lap is about to go here, which we're about to get on pretty soon. So let's have a look on how that's going to work. Our top 10 with tires, as we can see, we have 2 cars starting on the soft tires. That's Daniel Clement and Kubas there. The rest of the grid starting on mediums, at least for the top 10. And down below we got Sagan 11th and Luki in 17th starting on the softs as well. Everyone else on the mediums except for Groot, our new added driver there. He's going to be starting on the hards. And let's see, he's going to be pushing for a very long stint. And let's see how that strategy is actually going to work for him, because remember, it's 31 laps around this track, and we do anticipate there might be VSCs or safety cars happening in the race itself. So I'm not sure how well it's going to go with that for him. He's got 2 drivers disqualified from the formation lap. Let's just ignore that. Anyway, we're about to get on to the race start here. Hopefully everything is about to go smoothly with that. So just waiting for everyone to get back sorted on the grid to get started with this race here itself. Okay, so that is everyone on the grid. We're about to get started with this race here. Right now, we're going to have a look on board with Ready Muse and Cam. And let's keep this to position changes so you guys can have a look on what position changes are going to happen. That's 5 lights on, and that's it. Let's see, they're getting it off right now. Cam and Ready Muse getting a bit of an even start. Cam still out front though as they get on through the turn. Let's see how well that's going to go. The Williams trying to come alongside the Renault there. That's Jerry trying to pull in for a position to get into second place in this race. Not sure how well that's going for him, but let's see what position changes are going to happen. Cuban is up on position from Devil so far from that race start as we have it there. The rest of it seems to be going pretty well. Cap already up 3 positions out there in 10th. Trustnik falling down the order. He's up in 11th right now, trying to get back up to his position where he started there, if possible. On the opening lap still, as the Haas of Cuban trying to get alongside Jerry and had a bit of an incident, fell down quite a few positions. He is down to about 10th, falling a bit down the order there, 11 behind Trustnik now. So that's costing quite a few positions, a bit of contact between the two of them. Up in front, we still got Cam leading this race. Ready Muse still running second. We got Jerry still running third. Enter up 2 positions, running fourth at the moment. Devil's running 5th, down a position from Enter. And he's trying to catch back up if he can. Gap are still pretty close off. Kubas there, just behind Daniel Clement. And Clement having a bit of an issue with the Ferrari behind of him, having a bit of a tap. And that is, I think, Kubas coming behind of him. So 3/10 behind. A pretty close gap to work with. We got a yellow flag situation going on a bit around the track in some instances. And we got a safety car happening here right now. Something's happened down at the back of the track. I'm not sure what that is as yet. But something definitely happened that caused a full safety car here. Trying to have a look and see if you can have a look and see what exactly happened there, because I'm not sure who had an incident that caused that safety car. Either way, let's get this back onto tires here so you can see what's happening on track. As of this point here right now, we have a safety car, and it might just be because of the amount of debris on track with incidents on that opening lap. I'm not sure, but as we have it, I don't see any cars currently out of the race. We're going to have a look and see how many cars are going to be doing a pit stop on this opening lap. And as we said during qualifying, we did expect to have a safety car or a VSC on the opening lap itself. We got Daniel Clement and Kubas into the pits, definitely repairing damage on their cars as they were involved in some incidents on that race start itself. Havli is having a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Groot there. And Groot started there in 18th, already up to now 50th. Now he's in the pits right now. So we're following on behind the safety car as it is. And we're going to have to just wait a bit. Our leaderboard is a bit mixed up, so we're just going to ignore that. It's lap 2, not lap 3, so just ignore that for now, guys. So opening lap here at Singapore. Safety car on that opening lap. I think it's just for the amount of debris that was on track with the amount of incidents that happened is what's caused that full safety car there. So we're going to have to wait that lap or 2 more before that safety car goes in and we can get back to racing here on track. Okay, so the grid is gonna still keep as close as they are here right now. We're on board with Ready Muse here at the moment, following behind Cam, who's following behind the safety cars. We have it. So as the grid is right now, we got quite a bit of change up that happened. We're just gonna wait for that safety car to go in to get back started with this race. We got Luki and Havlis trying to catch back up with the grid at the moment. So is Groot there, I think, but they will be able to catch back up before that safety car actually goes back in. Not sure if our race leaders are going to be extensively happy about the safety car at the moment, because they were trying to get a gap started on each other there and with the rest of the grid as well. So currently still waiting for this safety car to actually be over before we can get back racing here. Did have a few pit stops happening on that opening lap. Groot there with a penalty right now. Okay, so that safety car has slowed the race down just a bit. The leaderboard is now back set as it should be. We are now on lap 3 of 31, and hopefully on the next lap we should have the safety car go in. I don't think it's gonna go in on this lap, but actually I'm just hoping it goes in on this lap, because it'll be pretty interesting to see if that does happen there. Let's see what's gonna happen with that. And we got someone spinning around during the safety car there right now. That was the Williams. I'm sure which Williams was that. It's a bit of an incident, and I think that was Jerry, and he had a bit of a collision there with someone as well. And I think we're back racing again. I didn't even pay attention to that. Sorry about that, guys. So let's see what's happening on that restart there. And that was not a good move for Jerry. Falling down the order all the way to 9th at the moment as we have it. So on the restart, looks pretty clean so far. I think we got one car into the pits. But between Ready Muse and Cam looking pretty good. And NT trying to keep up with them as well. A pretty close gap between the top 3. Gargerman and trying to get a move done on Devils there in the Red Bull. Not sure how well that's going. Remember, it is very difficult on some portions of this track to get an overtake done, so they have to be extremely careful about this right now. We do have okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so we do have Cam still leading this race, about 6 tenths ahead of Ready Muse there. We got NT falling by just a bit. He's now a second behind. Devils there in P4, about 7 tenths behind. Still a pretty close gap, but he's trying to keep that as close as he can. Down there in 10th, Clement getting a pretty good go against Demon there for P9. They're trying to have a look on board right now, see what's happening with that. Alright, so still about a 3 to 4 tenths gap between these two as they continue to race on through. Cam still leading the race. Ready Muse in second, NT third, Devils 4th, Gargamel in 5th. Cuban there in 6th right now. Having a pretty close gap with Gargamel, so we're going to keep an eye and see how that is going. But Daniel Clement is chasing after the McLaren of Demon here right now, trying to get by. That is Cuban and Gargamel doing a switch out front. And here is Clement trying to get alongside that McLaren, trying to get by on the inside. And does he get the move done? Looks like he might actually get it. And has a Ferrari of Kubas trying to come behind him there. So trying to get a position up. He's trying to take some advantage out of the Mercedes, trying to get ahead. And the And Daniel Clement actually does get ahead. He gets up into P9. That's Demon down to 10. Kubas now is just about a 10th behind, though, the McLaren. He's trying to get by right now. Let's have a look on board and see if he's actually able to get that position up or not. He was trying to follow Daniel Clement through and gain an extra position if possible there. But I don't think that worked out too well for him. He's going to try possibly to gain some sort of advantage if Demon does make a mistake. We got Jerry is running in 8th right now, ahead of Clement there, 5.2 seconds ahead, and he's about 4/10 behind Eskers there in the next McLaren. So let's see how that's going to work out. We do have Havlis having a pretty close gap down in the back as well. Also good there, and a bit of an interesting situation on the back. Let's have a look right now. So this is a pretty close battle going on down in the back here, and I think this is fighting for P13 right now. And interesting enough, we do have DRS online there right now by Race Control, so that's going to be a bit of an advantage for quite a few drivers here. We got Havlis gun right up to the rear of Sagan's car. He's trying to get ahead up into P13 if he can. He's trying to push it on through the inside, but I don't think he had enough of a gap to work with. So let's keep on board for just a bit and see what's happening there. Out in front, we can see cars are very, very close by with Sagan, Jurek, and Kubas there, all pretty close together. So let's see how that's working out for them. Out in front, Ready Muse is within DRS range of Cam there, who's leading the race. So we're going to see on how that is going to work out. Jurek here, just behind Demon right now. Kubas has gotten ahead of him, but he's trying to get ahead of him there right now. They're going side by side out in front as we can have a look on board with Jurek here right now, what's happening with these two. And he might be trying to get a position up here as well. He's going to try to take it on the inside of the McLaren, and does he get a position up? McLaren goes wide. That is Demon down to 12th position right now. So the racing point of Jurek gets on through just behind the Ferrari of Kubas there. So excellent move done. And he's falling quite a bit back, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to catch back up to these guys. Oh, and he does try to catch up, but has a bit of an incident with the racing point there. Goes straight into the back of him, and then actually looks like he purposely tried to drive into the side of him a bit. I'm not sure if that was an intentional situation there or not, but that will be investigated by the race stewards at the end of this race. I assume that's going to happen there. And we got a full safety car right now, and this might be having something to do with that incident that just happened on track there. I'm not sure, because Demon is now down to 16th on the grid. It might be what caused this incident, and that is a Kubas with a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. You gotta be careful with these safety cars and PSCs. As soon as they come on, you gotta drop your speed by about 40% just to keep in line with the regulations there, or you do get a penalty with that. And we do usually see a lot of drivers get penalties, especially going into the pit lane by speeding there as well. So they have to be extremely careful. This is direct into the pits right now. And he's having a front wing change there as well, so definitely took some damage. We still have all 18 cars, surprisingly, in this race right now, and going on through, even with the incidents that happened. So second safety car in the race so far. We're on lap 7 and running here at the moment. And we got Cam still leading the race. We got Radium is still running 2nd. NT is still running 3rd. Devil's still in 4th. Cuban are running 5th. Gargamel in there 6th. So Haas not doing too bad with 5th and 6th. Eskas they're running 7. His teammate not doing too well. Jerry there in 8. Daniel Clement in 9. Kubas there in 10. Sagan 11. Groot currently 12. We got Jurek down to 13th after that incident earlier on there. Cap there in 14. Tresnik there 15. Havel is 16. Luki there 17. Demon there down to 18th on the grid. Not having the best of races here this evening. Cam now leading by about 1.1 second. NT are now running 3rd, so let's see, another second behind. We're waiting for the safety car to go back in. That's going to be in a lap or 2 time, because it just came on out on this lap here, so we'll probably have to wait about 2 more laps for that to actually go back in, and then we're going to get back to racing once again there. So as I said, guys, currently on lap 7, and Kubas getting a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Daniel Clement there in 9th. Not sure what's happening on track, but we definitely have some situations going on, incidents that are going to be reported to the stewards at the end of this race. So that stewards office might be quite busy, especially at a track like Singapore. You do expect a lot of incidents to be reported after the race is actually over here, to see what exactly is going to happen. I don't think our race leaders are going to be too happy following behind the safety car as it is there right now. But the situation is not going to be happy. And there we have it. Kuba's getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. They're just trying to get in the pit lane and get out as fast as possible, and you do have to be careful on that pit entry not to speed in the pit lane because it can really cost you in the race itself. So they have to be very, very careful about this. Okay, so we're into lap 8 right now, still following on under the safety car as we have it here. We're just waiting for that to go in. It might be going in on lap 9, I'm not sure. We're getting to the entry point of sector 3 on track. So let's have a look and see if we're going to have any notification from race control about that safety car going in here right now. And yep, there we have it. So safety car is going to be in on this lap. We're about to get back racing once again into lap 9. We're going to go and race a 31 lap race, guys. So we've had quite a few cars take pit stops already at this point as we have it here. So we're going to see how that affects the race itself. You know, our top drivers, their top 8 drivers have not taken a pit stop as yet. And the rest of the grid below them have taken stops. So we're going to see how that's going to work out with the rest of the race in terms of strategy for them there. Alright, so that safety car is all the way back into the pits already. We're about to get back started here right now. Let's have a look who's going to get better start off. And looks like Cam is already on it there. Ready is trying to follow him as close as possible. And he's about within 4/10 of that Williams there, who is in the lead of this race. Cam has led every lap of this race so far, has not given it up, but he will have to do a pit stop at some point. So let's see between him, Ready Muse, and N-Tier, who decides to do that pit stop first. Of course, Devils and Cuban and Jerry as well are all in this and the fight for that lead there for the race win itself. So we're going to see how that works out between them. But as we have it here, a 4:10 gap between race leader Cam there and Ready Muse there in second, and the rest of the grid chasing after them behind. So to keep an eye on where our close gaps are about to be, and we're going to try to switch on in just a bit. But for now, let's just follow on with our race leaders here and see how well they're getting on through. We can see the rest of the grid coming on behind, just about 5 or 6 cents behind each other and coming on through. So it still has been quite an interesting race start so far coming to this point. 2 safety cars within the last 9 laps that we have it. So we probably have about half of that on racing laps itself. Hopefully no more incidents on the rest of this lap. We got a 2:10 gap between Cam and Ready Muse here right now. That Renault is looking to get up into the lead of this race. Let's see if he's able to get it done, though. It's very difficult to overtake on the track. There are overtaking opportunities available. Of course, he's going to probably need DRS to come back online to give him a bit of an advantage if he can get that. So we got another safety car. What is happening on track? Kubas, something is happening with him down at the back of the grid. I'm not sure what's happening with him, but he is out of this race, and that's caused a safety car once again. That's our 3rd safety car this race here. And of course, it has to be a safety car if a car gets DNF on the track itself, because it's going to be blocking the other cars from getting around. So we're going to have to follow once again under another safety car. Our race leaders once again have not chosen to take a pit stop here. So they're going to continue on through the race as it is there right now. And majority of our grid are taking pit stops, as you can see here right now. So majority of the grid are in the pits taking their stops. At least 3 cars out front have not taken stop, and that's our top 3. We got Cam, Ready Muse, and N-Tier they have not taken a pit stop in this race so far. They're running 9 laps on those medium tires so far, and looks like they're trying to push it quite a way more before actually doing a stopper. They might be waiting for the fourth safety car to actually take that pit stop. We'll see how this is gonna go, but going very interesting in this session so far here for the Singapore Grand Prix. Remember guys, this is for the European Formula Racing League, EFRL. We're on their channel live here right now, and it's round 16 of 22 for the current season that they're on. And it's going pretty interesting in this session. Gotta say, we started with 17 drivers in qualifying 1. By the time we got started to the race, we had 18 drivers in the session. We still have 18 drivers in the session here, but the one is now out of the race, and that is Kubas, unfortunately out there. And interestingly enough, Groot here, who started this race down there in 18th, he was the 18th driver to join on the session before the end of qualifying. He joined onto the session there, and he is currently running where he started 18th. He's now running in 5th in this race, and he's done a pit stop already onto the hard tires. 8 laps done on them. He will have to do another stop. I assume he will have to do another stop here because we got about 21 laps more to go in this race. So he will have to do another stop in the race itself. We're going to see when he does decide to do that. But he is running pretty high up here, and he might just be waiting for safety car number 4 as well to actually take that pit stop. We're going to see how that's going to work out for him. And the bad thing about safety cars is that it tends to slow down a race just quite a bit. Our normal time for a race usually lies between about 40-45 minutes, 46-47 minutes actually, but it's basically around an average of 45 minutes per race session. It even doesn't matter what the amount of laps is. Once it's a 50% race, that's what the time usually is. But safety cars like this usually extend a race session out, especially if it's a wet session, but it's not wet, it's dry. But we're on our 3rd safety car right now. We might be heading for a 4th one in another few laps or so. So majority of our race has been under a safety car so far, as we can see. And there we have a pit window is now open for majority of drivers there. So majority of the grid down at the bottom, I'm noticing, have gone onto the hard tires. So are they planning a strategy to run the next 20 laps on those hards to go to the end of the race? It might just be what a strategy play is going to be here. I'm not sure. Of course, it's going to be advantageous to them, because if they're going to plan to go to the end of the race on those hard tires, then they might expect another safety car or VSC to come into the race. Of course, we're under a safety car right now. That's going to be in a lap or 2 more of tire savings for them, because they're not driving at full speed and wearing off those tires that they have it on there right now. So we'll see what the strategy is going to be here, but interesting so far as we have it. Want to see how this race is going to end. We got 17 drivers still in the session fighting for it, and I didn't get a standings up with me, so I don't have the standings with me right now to have that. Letting you guys know about that. But we'll have that on screen for the next session at least, so you guys can see what's happening. I'll just make a graphic of it and put it on for the next stream before we get started with the next race and next week, and we can have a look at that and see what standings are like so far in the season here. Because next week is going to be round 17. I'm not sure where the track is. I really didn't keep track of it, but I got to add that to the calendar and whatnot, so I'll know exactly what's happening next week. But yeah guys, so it has been an interesting season with EFRL so far, and we have missed a few races. I think we've missed with them, not sure how many, probably 3 or 4 maybe, but majority of races we have been on here for, and it's quite some interesting racing going on, some very good skilled drivers as well. And there we have it guys. So safety car is going to be in on this current lap here, and we're about to get back racing, so we're just waiting for that to happen here right now. We're still on with Brady Muse, is on the overhead cam with him, trying to see if he's going to get a better run behind Cam this time around after the safety car goes in. We're going to see how that's going to go there. Okay, so here we go, back on the restart into lap 12 right now with Ready Muse on board with him and having a look at the gap he has against Cam here, which is just about 5 tenths. He has about 2 tenths gap to enter behind of him, so needs to be a bit more worried about that. The rest of the grid getting a bit spaced off from the top 3 at the moment as we have it. 2.4 seconds with Sagan running in 4th, and we got Groot about to get past him. Side by side, he goes to the Red Bull right now. Direct trying to get in that battle there as well, as he's side by side with the Red Bull right now. The Renault of Groot has gotten ahead up into P4, running an excellent race here right now. His teammate Ready Muse in 2nd, so it looks like Renault is having a pretty good day so far. Now we got Sagan and Havlis. What's happening to Havlis right now? Oh, we got a bit of an incident down in the back, and the Ferrari gets involved with that there as well, and that's Demon out of the race there. Unfortunate for that incident that just happened there. And that's definitely going to result in a safety car. Now, that's for a safety car, I understand, because that was quite a nasty incident that just happened. I don't think the Ferrari had anywhere else to go. The car in front of him spun around, and he had to just go straight into it and got into the barriers there as well. And I think that was, yep, that was Luki's Ferrari. As you can see, he's missing majority of his front wing right now. He's going to have to go in for another pit stop. And he's done 4 laps on this set of hard tires so far. So let's see where the strategy change is going to be. Probably going to go into the mediums, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. But yeah, quite a bit of a nasty incident there. That's definitely might be reported. I'm not sure who was at fault for that one there. Trying to have a look and see if any other cars here have damage on their front wings right now. We're going to see who's going to be diving into the pits. And our race leader Cam is into the pits right now. He's taking a stop on this safety car number 4, and he is taking a stop right now. So let's see what's going to happen in that case. We got quite a few cars into the pits right now. We're going to have something set up so we can have replays happen here, so at least know what exactly is happening on track, and I will have back a look at it. So Ready Muse now finally into the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix after race leader Cam took his pit stop there. Of course, he still has to do a mandatory pit stop. We now have NTA running a 2nd, who has to do a stop as well. Okay, so still under the safety car here. We're on lap 13 at the moment. Okay, so let's have a look at a few things here right now as we're under the safety car. Let's see how many drivers have taken stops. So it looks like it's just Radimus and NT, the only two drivers who have not taken a single pit stop in this race so far. And they will have to take that mandatory pit stop. So they're trying to push those tires just a bit more. They're on the mediums. They can go just a bit more. We're on our full safety car. So it's been a majority of this race has been halfway through safety cars, halfway through actual racing laps. So about 7 laps, 6 or 7 laps probably on the safety car as well. So they haven't been actually wasting those tires so far in terms of racing pace there. So the tires can go quite a bit more before they decide to do a stop. And I'm not sure what sort of strategy they're planning to run. If they're going to push those tires all the way to a point where they can go onto the soft tires to go to the end of the race, I'm not sure. But they probably have to make it until lap 20 or lap 18 the earliest, I think, to try and do something in that scenario there. I'm not sure. But to be safe, I'll probably run that up to maybe lap 19 of 20 and then try something like that to happen. We'll see how that's going to go. Safety car is going to be in on this lap here right now. We're having a look at position changes, and we already know Groot there running third in this race, P3. He's gained 15 positions from the race start itself, so he's running pretty high up. His teammate currently leading the race, Renault, looking pretty good for this current race we have going on here right now. Red Bull not looking too bad there. They're running 4th and 6th at the moment. Mercedes not looking good though. They're down 13th and 16th in the race there. They had much better starting positions but not having the best of race here at Singapore. Anyway, we're about to get back racing here right now. Safety car is already going back in. We're going to have a look on board with Entier as a heap. And Radium is about to get back started with this race here right now as they get across the line. Entier trying to get a pretty good run on Radium is going down into turn 1. Previous race leader Cam is currently in 7, just got ahead of Escas there, and is now chasing after Devils in a Red Bull for a position. Let's see how that's going to work for him. Cuban down here in 10. Let's have a look what's happening with him right now. And we got a car going a bit slow on track down in the back here, I think. I'm not sure. I think that was Lukey. They're having some trouble. Let's have a look what's happening with him right now. Or was that Cap? I'm not sure. He's trying to get back up to speed here right now, chasing after Daniel Clement there for 12th place in the race. A 10th or 2 tenths between them. Oh, and he pushes for a position that was not a good idea, and now gets a bit of an incident there with Cap. As Cap was trying to get past him there, has some significant damage on that car. Not sure if that's going to be retiring that car there or now or not. But quite a bit of an incident. We might be looking at safety car number 5 here, guys. Actually, no, we're not. It's fine, but we're going to continue on through with the race. So out in front, Ready Muse leads right now into lap 15. We are NT running in 2nd. We got Groot running 3rd in the grid. We got Devils running just behind his team. And side by side, the Red Bulls are going here right now, fighting it out for 4th position. And who gets ahead? Sagan horizontal to that position right now. Devil's trying to get around his teammate though for that position, and they're really trying to fight it out. I think definitely they have, I'm not sure if they have permission to race each other here or not, but they're fighting it for points for the championship at least here. Because even 1 position up at this point is going to be more points for them. So we do have Devils pushing quite a lot right now. He does have Cam, previous race leader, on fresh tires right now, coming behind of him, so he needs to be a bit careful as well. He's going to push it on the inside through the final turn. Let's see, no, he actually holds back onto the racing line, and he's going to keep it there for now, using the slipstream just a bit. His teammate trying to get on the other side of the track, and he has the outside. Devils is going to go around the long way around, trying to get that overtake done still. These two might want to be a bit careful and not take each other out of the race right now, because Cam in the Williams is coming just behind, and he's definitely looking to get by. That is Devils taking the inside, and looks like he's might still be trying to get that position up, and he falls on the order just a bit. He's now behind Cam here, who is getting ahead of both Red Bulls. He's side by side with Sagan out in front and fighting for that position. We do have Cuban in the Haas trying to get into that battle there as well. So 4 cars trying to fight down through. It doesn't look like it might end too well, because we might have some damage happen here as well. And we do have Ready Muse going into the pits right now, getting a change of tires. Looks like it's going to be a fast pit stop for him. No wing change as he has no damage. He's going to get back out. Entier now takes over the lead of the race. Still 16 laps down on those tires. He has not pitted since the start of this race. And it's a 21 lap. He's definitely pushing to go as far ahead as he can on that set of tires. We'll see how well that's going to work for him. Going back out in front here with Jerry chasing after Cuban, who's chasing after the Devils for 4th place right now in the race. And still quite a bit of a trend going on through them. Sagan is down to 7th right now though, and has a penalty there. 14 laps on his hard tires as he have it. Gary Williams of Jerry, I think, trying to get around Cuban's Haas. I'm not sure how well that's working for him. Devils out front in 4th. He's trying to build a gap just a bit and going on through. Okay, so 2/10 is where the gap is, and Jerry is definitely looking to get by as he tries to pull it on the inside of the halves here right now, but didn't get to pull that over with. So Havlis now, we're looking at him at the back of the grid in just below down here. I'm not going to be able to see him from Jerry's car, but we can see he's about 2/10 behind Sagan right now. Let's have a look and see what's happening, because he's trying to get past Sagan for 7th position. And has to just slow down just a bit. He's getting a bit held up here right now. Needs to get past that Red Bull and get ahead and chase the cars out in front. We got Enter finally into the pits. That's going to put Groot into the lead of this race here right now. Not a bad position for him as he gets around the final turn here. Definitely Sagan is holding up Havlis quite a bit as he's going to try and get alongside the Red Bull here right now and try to get a position up on the inside. Not sure if they had any contact there, but that is Havlis up into 6th position in this race right now. Let's have a look out front and see. Oh, we can go back to Gargamel here, chasing after Daniel Clement right now, chasing after the Mercedes for 8th position right now, and a bit of locking up as they get around the turns. Gargamel actually is stuck between 2 Mercedes right now. Really not a good position for him to be in. He's chasing after Daniel Clement, but Tresnik is coming just behind there, and he's right up to the rear of Clement's car. So looking to get by here. Sagan just in front of that in 7th. Daniel Clement is going to be looking to get by him. And Tresnik still coming off just behind. Has some problems with Ready Muse down in the back there. So we're going to have to be careful about that. Ready Muse will be looking to get by as well. We'll see how this is going to turn out, because it's getting quite interesting in this race here right now. In lap 18 of 31. Ready Muse is still chasing after Trusnik for 10th place in the race. We still got Gargamel and Daniel Clement out here, and Trusnik as well. Pretty close gap between all of them. A train as they get on through. Out in front, Cuban and Jerry pretty close off with Devils chasing after him for 3rd place in the race. We'll see if that's going to get any closer or not. A 2:10 gap between Daniel Clement and Gargamel at the moment as they continue on through with the race. You can see Ready Muse's gap is going and coming quite a bit, but 3 cars in front of them fighting off for a position. Groot finally into the pits there again. Cam now back into the lead. Devils running 2nd, Cuban running 3rd, Jerry 4th, Groot 5th, but he's still in the pits. Let's see if he comes back out. Havlis up into 5th right now. Sagan might go up into 6th, and he does. Clement is 7th, Gargamel in 8th, Ready Muse in 9th, and they all continue on through like that. We see that the Renault has gotten past Trusnik for 9th position in this race so far. So he's up about 2 positions because of Groot taking a pit stop there. And he's going side by side with the Haas of Gargamel and tries to get past him there right now. Does he actually get that position up? Looks like he did. He's up into 9th and trying to hold at the end tier down to 10th as he gets out of the pits there on soft tires. Ready Muse chasing after Daniel Clement still here. Let's see how that's going to go for him. He's trying to push on through for the inside. Has the gap to go with and actually gets around the Mercedes. He's up into 7th. Daniel Clement has lost that position. He's down to 9th. Needs to be worried about Gargamel and coming behind him. Another 2/10 behind as the gap is. Jerry out in front in 4th place chasing after Cuban. And we got the Mercedes. And we got a bit of contact between the Mercedes and the racing point of Entier there. Daniel Clement and Entier had a bit of contact. And we can see some Karma Fibers flown off one of those cars. I'm not even sure which one it was. I think it was from the racing point though. I'm trying to have a look, and yeah, definitely the racing point lost some portions of its front wing. That is empty there. Daniel Clement running a 2nd behind that right now. He's trying to gain back time as much as he can. Doesn't have any damage on that Mercedes, so that's going to be a good point for him. But Entier there having some damage on that car is going to be a bit difficult to control around a circuit like Singapore. Another 6 tenths to catch up to Gargamel out in front. Another 3 tenths from Gargamel to Sagan there. We got a yellow flag in sector 3. Something's happened down there. Or maybe there's a car going slow. And that is a bit of debris on track there from one of the Renaults flying around still. That's not too safe. Gargamel here chasing after someone. Who is he chasing after right now? And he is now after Sagan. Because we have some pit stops happening. Ready Muse, Havlis, and NT are all in the pits right now. Probably replacing tires and getting rid of damaged front wings as we have it. Out in front, Jerry chasing after with his side-by-side with Cuban trying to get up that position. Has the outside. We have Cuban on the inside and looks like he goes a bit wide but gets around, gets the position back. Still, he still holds on to P3 in this race. Cam still in the lead. That's his teammate there. Devils running seconds. His teammate running fifth right now. So both Red Bulls in a good position. Both Williams in a good position. Both Haas in a good position. They're running fourth and fifth in this race as we have it. As Cuban and Gargamel in there. Not doing too bad. Mercedes has Trustnik up into 7. His teammate Clement down to 14 though. Not as where they expected to be. We got the Renault guys, Groot and Ready Muse. They're running 8th and 11th respectively at the moment. Not best positions, but let's see how the rest of the race is going to go. We still got about 11.5 laps to get to the end of the race here right now. And we're currently on board with Jerry here chasing after Devils there. With Cam just in front. So it's a pretty close battle going on for the lead of the race here right now. And Devils definitely trying to get ahead of that Williams. Jerry might have to try and do something here to help his teammate out because that Red Bull is fighting for the lead of the race at the moment. And he might just be able to get away with it. Especially with the DRS advantage that comes up on the track here. So let's see how that's going to go as they get around the pit straight there right now. We can see the Williams of Jerry pulling alongside the Red Bull, trying to get up on the inside. And looks like he might get up to second place. He almost has some contact there, but he does get the position up. He's up into second. So Williams are now running 1-2 in the Singapore Grand Prix. And I think they're going to be quite happy about that if they can finish the race there at this point. And with the way the tires are running, they might actually be able to go to the end of the race with that. Devils now running into third. About 10 laps done on those hard tires as he has it there. Crude getting the fastest lap. He's running in 7th. Trying to make a comeback here right now. Cam is down second. His teammate Jerry ahead of him is on the faster tires. So the Williams has made a switch. And I think this might be strategy-wise going for against the Red Bull here right now. They put Jerry out in front. And Cam is now down to second. He was leading. He's on the hard tires. 7 laps done. Jerry's running on the mediums, faster tires, and he's on the same amount of laps as his teammate, of course, on the faster tires. So they put that car out in front. He seems to have much more pace, and he's going to try and get ahead. They need one of these Williams to be standing on the podium with a race win here. We got a virtual safety car right now, which is going to slow down the race. Cap is out of the race. We can have a look what happened there. I'm not sure where that happened on track, but looks like it happened down the pit straight. He's into the pit wall there right now. So unfortunate for Cap, he's out of the race. Jerry now still running in the lead as we have here. Both Williams running P1, P2. They might be happy just a bit about the virtual safety car, or maybe not. I'm not sure because Jerry was trying to get a lead out front. Cam might try to hold back the Red Bull of Devils just a bit. Cuban and Gargamel are running 4th and 5th though. Sagan is going to try to get ahead of these guys as much as he can here. Let's see how that's going to work out for him. And the gap between Gargamel and his teammate might start to drop during this virtual safety car, which should be over in just a bit here, guys, as we're waiting for that to get over here right now. But the second half of this race has gone quite interesting, even with well, I guess that's making up for the first half having about 4 or 5 safety cars in it. So still not a bad race at all. And we're back racing again. Track is green. Nuki has a drive through penalty for speeding under the VSC. We got a pretty close gap out front. Jerry trying to get a gap against his teammate there. 1.1 second is what that is. Cam is going to try to hold Devils back, I think was what the strategy is here right now. Devils running in third in the Red Bull. 5 tenths behind Cam in the Williams. He needs to try and get ahead of that Williams if he wants a chance back at the lead of this race here right now. Daniel Clement getting another penalty there. Cuban running about 8 tenths behind this. So his team is running 15 seconds behind him. I think out front here is our closest gap that we have on track here at the moment. We do have quite a few penalties with the cars on track. We're going to have a look at penalties in just a bit before this race comes to an end, at least by lap 29 to 30. We're going to have a look at those penalties and see where we're standing at, especially with drivers and the way they're going to be finishing this race. But so far it's looking pretty good for the Williams team there, and for Haas as well, and even Red Bull. Gotta say, top 6 drivers, 3 teams in that top 6, and it's not, I can't say it's going bad for them. Devils are having a lot of trouble catching up to Cam right now. 3/10 is what the gap is, so he needs to get a little bit closer to try and get some DRS advantage and hopefully get ahead here. Let's put telemetry on so you guys can have a look at everything that's happening on track. Actually forgot to turn that on at the start of the race there. And there we go. Devils having DRS advantage against Cam as he goes down the straight. Cuban back by about 1.5 seconds right now. Of course, he has a penalty. He's still probably be able to finish in that position because his teammate is about 15 seconds behind of him. And looks like if Groot keeps up what he's doing, he might be getting an extra position in this race. So we're going to see how that's going to work out. Out in front though, gap is now 2.1 seconds between Jerry and Cam there for the lead, and that's Williams' teammate, and they made that switch willingly. I think they did as part of a strategy play against Red Bull to keep him in third and allow Jerry to get ahead and build a bit of a gap in case if Devils does get back second place. He's gonna have to work his way in terms of breaking down that gap if he wants that race lead. We got Groot and Ready Muse running just behind of each other right now, 7th and 8th in this race. So that's Renault up a good position there right now, 7th and 8th. So now we have top 8 drivers, our 4 teams. Not looking too bad. And Ready Muse is looking to get by Sagan here right now, trying to get by the Red Bull for 6th position. Let's see if he's able to get that done. Out in front, Devils has a 4:10 gap to Cam. Still trying to break that down as much as he can. Ready Muse on fresh soft tires here right now. He's going to the end of the race on those. So let's see if he's able to catch up to his teammate. Down in the back, we got Interior and Escas, a pretty close gap up to them, and Havl is there. And there goes Groot trying to go around the outside of Sagan, but Sagan trying to push it on back. And the Renault gets ahead. That is Groot through, and he gets up into 6th place in this race. Sagan down to 7th right now, and he's lost that position, unfortunately. Yeah, Ready Muse there, 11.8 seconds behind this. He's going to try to catch up as much as he can. Let's see if he gets that position up. Back out in front, we got Cuban into the pits right now. And let's see, is he doing a pit stop or a drive-through penalty? I'm not sure. He's doing a pit stop. And let's see how much down the order he is going to fall here. It looks like he's going to travel the fastest lap on those fresh tires he's coming back out on. Naturally. Anyway, let's see where he gets back out. Out in front, Devils chasing after the Williams of Cam here still. Really fighting it to get back into the lead of the race if he can. But he needs to get back into 2nd place here first. And out in front, 3.4 seconds is where the gap is between the 2 Williams drivers. So a bit of an extensive gap being formed out in front before Devils gets back into 2nd. Which is going to give them a bit of an advantage to finish 1-3 in this race there. That's Williams we're saying. Is probably going to be finishing 1-3 if Devils can get ahead of Cam right now. Of course, Cam desperately trying to hold that car into 2nd place because we got just about 7.5 laps left to go here right now. So really not a long point to get to the end of the race. So I think he wants to hold off as much as he can and try to get that position in the car and keep it in 2nd and finish 1-2 for the team, which is going to be not too bad of a finish. We got Racing Point running 9th and 10th in this race right now. That's Entier and Jireg there. And they're not too far off from each other. Their Mercedes drivers are not doing too well. We got Trustnik just went up into 11, but Daniel Clement running at 14th right now. He's last on the grid as we have Luki, Cap, Demon, and Kubas out of this race. And Havlis is now out of this race there as well. I'm not sure if he retired in the pits or what's happened to his car. Actually, I don't think he retired in the pits. He's DNF on track in Sector 2. If you can have a look at the map where the yellow flag is there right now. And we got a Mercedes having problems there as well. Trusnik has some problems, I think. See the Trusnik or Clement has some problems. I'm not sure. One of them seemed to have some problems for a second there. But they've gotten that going again. Devil's trying to get around the outside of that Williams once again. Let's see if he's going to get it done. Goes a bit wide. Gets back on track. Still side by side with Cam. And looks like he's going to get that position up finally. But Cam is fighting it back. Doesn't want to give up 2nd place. And almost having some contact with the Red Bull. He gets up and forces it through. And back up into 2nd. He goes there right now. That was quite close between those 2 cars. It could have ended pretty badly between them. So Cam is now back up into 2nd in this race. His teammate out in front by 5.2 seconds. I gotta say, this is quite an interesting strategy from Williams here right now. Putting Jerry out in front of Cam on those medium tires. And he's gotten quite a gap going. it's gonna be probably near impossible for Devils to catch up to Jerry, even if he gets past Cam here right now, because the gap is quite big for a track like Singapore for him to do that amount of catching up. He would have to be on very fresh tires and running at that position that he is there right now to do that chase. And I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He's gonna, if he gets past Cam, he will be able to finish second in this race, but I don't think he's going to be able to take the win. And Cam there, though, definitely trying as much as he can to keep this a 1-2 finish here for Williams. Gap is down to about 3/10, and this is the closest gap we have in this race so far, with the Red Bull and the Williams here fighting it off for second place on the podium right now. And we can see Devil's tires are just a bit older, but he's holding on. He's holding on to that gap and just trying as much as he can to keep behind the Williams right now. Look at that. He's going to try and get alongside him once again, but not able to do it at this point. The gap still about 3/10 going on, or 2/10 there right now. We can see Trusden getting more penalties down at the back of the grid there. We're going to have a look at these penalties in just a bit. But keeping on this battle happening here, let's have a look at Groot here right now for a second though. Groot is about 8/10 behind Gargamel and chasing him down for 4th place in this race right now. And then we have Ready Muser, another 4/10 behind Sagan. He's trying to get up that position if he can. Sagan is actually stuck between two Renaults right now, and he's trying to get ahead, but he has a gap to work with, quite a big gap actually. So Ready Muse might be able to get past him before the race is going to come to an end, because there's about a 10 between them there right now, probably trying to go oh, and he does have some trouble. Cuban getting alongside him, trying to take it on the inside of the Renault there right now, but Ready Muse holds on to that position. I think Ready Muse was a bit worried about Cuban getting by. He's now lost a bit of time to Sagan though, so he's going to have to try and gain that back as much as he can here. And let's go on down to the rest of the grid. Cuban running there 8th, NT running in 9th, Trusnek running 10th right now, Esca's running 11th. I've talked too much about him, but a bit of a gap that he does have. Daniel Clement getting past him here right now and goes up into 11th on the grid, and that's Esca's down to 12th at the moment. So 9-10 gap is already losing some time there, as we can see. Going back up to out in front. Oh, just noticed that Devils actually got past Cam. We actually missed that happening. So the Red Bull of Devils is up into 2nd place in this race. The gap is 4.8 seconds to catch up to Jerry out in front for the lead of the race. So let's see if he's able to do that or not. He's trying to build a gap against Cam right now and keep him out of DRS range. Let's go back down to Cuban here, chasing after Ready Muse right now. So 2-10 gap between them. This definitely is going to go to the end of the race on that way. Let's have a look at penalties in the meanwhile we're here. So 3-second penalty for Sagan so far. Ready Muse has a 6-second penalty, 8 for Cuban. Entier has 9. Trusnek has 14 seconds, not doing too well. Daniel Clement with 6, and we got Jurek there with 3 seconds as well. So let's go back to tires and see how these guys are going to finish off this race. 28 laps done on this race so far. 31 laps the total lap to do here, and we got just about 3 laps more to go. What about 3.5 laps more to finish off this race? So we're coming to an end pretty quickly here right now. Cuban trying to get past that Renault, and he's going to pull alongside and pull it on the inside. Let's see if he's able to get the position up. The Renault goes a bit wide, and Cuban still side by side with Ready Mills right now fighting for that position. And looks like he has to just let it go at least for now. So Cuban down back to 8th position there, still holding on and trying to get that position up. Out in front, we got Devils 4.8 seconds behind Jerry. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to break that gap down in time. 3.5 laps to go. It is quite possible, but not on a track like Singapore. It's going to be quite difficult for him to do it. Not impossible, but just a bit difficult for him to actually do that. But I think what his main aim is right now is to keep Cam out of his DRS range. And we got a bit of an issue here. Cuban spinning around in the Haas, trying to get back going right now. Entier getting past him and going up into 8. He's down to 9 because of that spin there. And that's cost him some time in this race, especially at this point here right now. I'm going to go back up here to Ready Muse. 2/10 right now behind Sagan in the Red Bull in front of him. And he's chasing after that car, really trying to get up into 6th place if he can. We're going to see in a bit how penalties are going to affect this race by the time we get on to the end. And we can see Ready Mills still has DRS advantage against Sagan here, but it's not helping as much as he expected. Doesn't really have a lot of ERS to use, just mostly dependent on that DRS there right now to help try to catch up. Of course, the tires on Sagan's car are pretty old, 26 laps on those hard tires, and we have Ready Mills here, fresh soft tires. Of course, as we said early on in the session, it's very difficult to do an overtake on this track here, especially if you don't have enough practice actually doing that, so they have to be very careful about it and the way they attempt it. We're on lap 30 right now, penultimate lap of the race. Let's have a look at penalties before we get off to the end here. So let's see where we stand here right now. We're following on currently with Cuban here, 5/10 behind. So Jerry's still leading this race. Looks like he might be finishing with a race win here. Devils looks like he's going to finish second on the podium. Cam might be third. Gargamel should be finishing fourth. Groot in fifth. Sagan there will be keeping 6. Ready Mills will have to take his 7th. NT will take 8 as it is. And looks like Cuban will take 9th. And it looks like Trusnick will be able to take his 10th place. Daniel Clement there though might be able to get ahead of his teammate. I'm not sure. That's going to be a close call between the two Mercedes there, who's going to take 10th and 11th. But 12 and 13 is going to be Eskas and Jurek as we have it there right now. With the gaps that they have at the moment, I think it's going to be finishing that exact way. So let's keep an eye on the grid as we go almost into the final lap here. Ready Mills still chasing after the Red Bull of Sagan here to get that position up if he can. And looks like Groot is still the one driver that has gained the most positions in this race and might be looking at driver of the day. So we're going to keep that on penalties as we're about to enter into the final lap of this race very, very soon. But it has been quite an interesting session so far. If you have missed our qualifying session here, do have a look back at the video at the end of this race. It was quite an interesting qualifying session. First half of the race was not as interesting as expected, probably because a lot of safety cars in it. And but second half of this race coming on through to the end here has been very, very interesting. A lot of battles going on and a lot of close calls as well. Some interesting racing going on from these guys here at EFRL. So let's see how this race is going to come to an end. We got Jerry into the final lap of this race here right now. And interesting enough, out front, Devils have broken the gap down to under a second, which we thought was very difficult for him to do. But he's actually gotten that done. I'm not sure if Jerry made a mistake or not. Oh, those tires are getting a bit old on him, but Devils is now within 6/10 of that Williams on the final lap of the Singapore Grand Prix. Interior is up a position already, is there, just to know that. So Red Bull is definitely trying to get the race win here right now. Let's see if that's going to happen. He's going to pressure Jerry into getting a penalty before they get to the end of this final lap here, and he's right up to the rear of Jerry's car here right now. Of course, very difficult to overtake on this track, but let's see if he's able to get it done. On board with Devils here right now. They tried to pull a move off on the Red Bull team, and it seemed to have been working up to this point here right now, where Devil looks like he is going to get past Jerry, and Jerry's going to have to defend for his life to keep the position there, P1, and finish that race as it is. And we got the final sector of the track to go here right now. Hopefully neither of them gets a penalty, which is what they're going to have to hope for. So very difficult to have an overtake done, but Devils is looking for a gap everywhere he possibly can as they get around on the final sector. Final few turns to go here before they get across the line, and this is going to be quite close. It looks like it might be Jerry being able to keep the race win here right now. A bit of contact between the two cars, I think, as they get through, but that is Jerry taking the win for the Singapore Grand Prix. Devil finisher second on the podium. Cam comes across the line, third on the podium there. We have Gargamel coming around right now with Groot just behind of him, and they're about 22 seconds behind the top three, but not a bad race finish here. That was extremely close between Devils and Jerry. Had there been any other track, I think Devils might have been able to get that overtake done against the Williams driver there, but fortunately Jerry still got that win. This is Gargamel coming across the line to take P4 in this race, and Groot will take 5th. We got Sagan coming around here right now. He should be taking 6th place in the race there. And then we have his team, we have Entier coming just behind of him to take 7th place. And that's them there. We have Cuban coming around with Ready Muse fighting for the position. Ready Muse takes 8, Cuban takes 9. Daniel Clement looks like he's going to come around to take 10th. And his teammate Trusnik is out of the race on the final lap there. So Dan takes a 9th. Cuban down to 10th. Trusnik out of the race, unfortunately. And there is his Mercedes on track. This is SS coming around to take 11th, and Jurek will take 12th on the grid. That means finishing position for Trusting there will be 13th, unfortunately, because he is not able to get across the line. I'm not sure how that situation happened there with the Mercedes driver, but unfortunate for him at the end of that. But so quite an interesting race. I assume it's Groot getting driver of the day here, and I'll say he deserves it because he started 18th on the grid, and he did finish quite high up. So that congratulations to Groot there for getting that driver of the day. They're not too bad for him. Let's have a look at the final results here, well, preliminary results for the session itself. I know a lot of results are going to be reported at the end of the session there, but let's have a look at the preliminary results for the race itself here right now. Alright guys, so there we have it. So round 16 of 22 for EFRL for the Singapore Grand Prix. We got Jerry taking the race win there, P1 on the podium for him. And then we got Devils taking 2nd place on that podium. Cam takes 3rd place on the podium. And then Gargamel takes 4th there in the race. Groot takes 5th and driver of the day. Sagan takes 6th. Entier takes 7th. Ready Muse takes 8th. We got Daniel Clement taking 9th. Cuban takes 10. That's our top 10 there. We got Escas takes 11. And also Cuban took fastest lap in this race, so good job on him for that. Jurek takes 12. We got Trusnik didn't finish there in 13. Havlis 14. Nuki 15. Cap 16. Demon there 17. Kubas there 18th. With that, they didn't get to finish the race either. So congratulations to our podium finishers there, Jerry, Devils, and Cam. Top 3 drivers in the race there. Not a bad race from them, especially between Jerry and Devils. A great strategy by Williams, but they actually did pay off for Jerry, but was quite a close call. And congratulations to Groot for getting driver of the day. Thanks for everyone for joining us on for this race session. Do join us on again next week for round 17 at the same time. So I'll see you guys until then. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video there for EFRL. And thanks so much for the guys for allowing me to do the stream here. So once again, thanks for everyone who joined on. I'll see you guys on the next stream.